and welcome to GeoSnippits. I'm Headhardhat. For the next few minutes, we're going to give you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession, known as geocaching. In today's episode, we're going to be going over paperless geocaching. That's right, we're going to give you a better way of finding a geocache without having to print out all that information. We're going to show you how to use an electronic device to make you more efficient, save the planet, and have even more fun while doing geocaching. Let's go and take a look at those devices now. Okay, let's start off at the beginning. Usually finding yourself at your computer system. There you have several different options for finding out what type of geocaches you want to go to. For example, you can go to geocaching.com, which is the main hub for most geocachers. There you have a whole host of tools to bring up different types of geocaches. The next is you can use a utility like GSAC, which is the Geocaching Swiss Army Knife. It's a very cool application that works with a series of databases to hold all the information about geocaches you want to go find, and also the ones that you already found. Very handy utility. Once they get that information, many times they'll go out and they will print off what they want to do. So in other words, they make a series list of the different geocaches they want to go to and the information needed to find those geocaches, and usually a series of maps to also help them find the geocache that way. What we want to do is to avoid doing all this paper, because this is just one series of geocaches. Imagine if you do this with all the times that you do geocaching. That's a lot of paper. We're going to go over paperless geocaching. Let's do that now. Now, one of the devices you might want to consider also for paperless geocaching that's fairly inexpensive is one of these. This is a PDA. Now, with a PDA, you can take information from geocaching.com, which is known as pocket queries, load it into your computer, and then load it into this guy. Once that's in there, you have all your geocaching goodness right at your fingertips. You take it, you pop it in your pocket. If you need information about a particular geocache, it's right there. The coordinates, the description, the hints, everything that you possibly need to know about geocaching, this is the way to go. Now, another device that you want to consider that's becoming extremely popular but can be expensive is one of these. This is a smartphone with GPS technology. In particular, this is a BlackBerry. The iPhones are also very popular, and there are tons of applications for both that are extremely handy for geocaching. Now, the last device that I'm going to show you here is for the real geocaching enthusiast. In other words, if you're big into geocaching and you want to put a little more money into it, I highly recommend using this for paperless geocaching. This is a netbook. Why a netbook? They're less expensive than your standard laptop. They have a long battery life and they're portable, which means you can take all your applications, everything that you want to use for geocaching right with you, which means you can find any information you want about a geocache, you can log the geocaches, all the information's there. A netbook is a great way to go. Okay, so let's go over an example of why you'd need a PDA device to go geocaching. One, you don't want to carry around all that paperwork. It's just too clumsy, and it's just not great for the environment. You're close to where that GPS device tells you is ground zero, but you're having difficulty finding that geocache. Wouldn't it be great to have a device that you can go through and have the actual description and all the geocache information right at your fingertips? That's why using a PDA device in an application similar to CacheMate that gives you that information. It really helps you get everything you need to find that geocache. Now, one of the ways that you can do paperless geocaching is to use your smartphone, either a BlackBerry, an iPhone, or any other one that has GPS technology. There are applications that are out there to be made to go geocaching. I use, in my particular case, a BlackBerry with Geocache Navigator. It gives me all the information that I need for a geocache right at my fingertips, including a compass and a little radar to zero right in on the geocache itself. It's very handy and it's paperless. I don't need to load it. It loads it right off the internet. Smartphones are a great way to go. Okay, so let's say you're out on a trip and you're not in an area that you're normal geocaching. How do you get that information? Well, there's a bunch of ways, but let me show you how to do it with a netbook. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. How do I get internet connectivity? Really simple. I use my smartphone. My smartphone can connect to the internet. I use a Bluetooth connectivity from my computer to talk to my phone. You get a complete link, and it's just like being at home. Now I can go to geocaching.com, I can upload information into my computer, I can get all my mapping information, no matter where I'm at. As long as I can get my phone to connect to the internet, you're solid. It's a great way to do paperless geocaching. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of GeoSnippits and come back real soon, where we have even more interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession, known as geocaching. I'm Headhardhat saying we hope to see you out on the trails real soon. Bye-bye, folks. Oh, we got some good stuff in here. Woo!